So Just Teddy, as we all know, is a family-run business, and with every family, there's a story attached to that family. Our story for our store was, from humble beginnings, which never end. We started in a food market. We worked very hard in that food market, and we reaped the benefits of that hard work and opened up this store in Hyde Park Corner Shopping Center. It wasn't a rosy opening. It wasn't something that we were really proud of, because we had to learn, we had to mess up, and we really had to learn about our brand. And thank God we were forgiven for the sins of business. And we wanted to, we want to convey with everybody who we are as a family and as a brand, where we started and where we are now and where we are looking to go. Our story is beautiful, our food is beautiful, and my family is beautiful. We really, I know, as everybody knows, we in our restaurant, we can be a little bit grumpy and moody. It's just because we are tired. But I mean, my family is so lovable. And we wanted to show everybody that it's not just a business. There's entities, there's personnel that is attached to the store and really wants to just, convey what we love on a plate, in our counter, and now the book. So it's just another platform and medium for us to channel what we love and show everybody and communicate that.
So me being a home baker, I still consider myself a home baker, even though we've gone to the professional side. I think the book is geared for somebody that loves to bake, somebody that has a passion for baking, somebody that loves a feel-good story. Besides it being a recipe book, it is basically our memento. It's our story. It's a love letter to our customers, to people that need to be a little bit inspired. I think where we are at the moment with COVID, people are looking for feel-good stories, looking for success stories, looking for something, just a glimmer of hope. I want the book to go to a home baker, essentially. The recipes are intricate, but coming from a home baking background, I feel that the recipes are achievable for a home baker, and it's recipes that I would want to have done if I wasn't in the environment that we are at the moment. So I've collected recipe books for as long as I can remember, and there's literally one too many that I have. But I try to make a book that I would enjoy. These recipe books are really hit and miss. Sometimes the cover can look amazing. You think you're going to get the most spectacular patisserie book or the most spectacular cookbook, and when you open the pages, it's just very disappointing. So from the word go, we wanted the book to be a book that we would buy, a book that we would enjoy, and a book that gave substance to what we do. We wanted the book to stabilize our brand, to give us a brand identity, for people to know exactly what goes on behind the scenes, that it's not all beautiful trees, fairy lights, pretty pastries on the counter, that there's a soul, there's a dungeon that we call up a bakery at the back, and it's literally, it's sacrifice, it's a drive. If you don't have that drive, then you're not going to succeed. So it's basically a book, a feel-good book, a book for a home baker, and a book for a person that just wants to be inspired.
So, in any business, you always talk about what is the unique selling point, the USP. And Just Teddy, that USP in itself is the family that runs it. I believe this business wouldn't be the business it is if, we weren't attached to it, if we weren't sweating out every day, giving, our full attention and care to it. So from that regard, I feel that, my family energizes this business. We give it its life. We give it its flight path, so to speak, where we want it to head. And, everything that is in this business is a byproduct of us. I do the bread. My father's the head of patisserie with my sister. My mother's the loving force that calms down, a crazy situation. She keeps us together. Tiago, my sister's fiance, he keeps all our books in check and so forth. So it really is a collective unit that is just trying to, nurture and grow something that we love dearly about. And we want people to see that. I want Petals from Paris to sort of break the fourth wall, so to speak, and give people an insight into a business that is run by human people. Our everyday family is running such a big and amazing business like this, to not, to allow people to not be so intimidated by, money being, capital expenditure put into a business, and that everybody can go through that. It's possible. And this book is just a vehicle to, again, and I'm repeating myself, but just show people that a family is capable of doing such great things if they are together.
So when COVID hit, it really put a thorn in our side, because you must remember that we were just on the anniversary of our first year, literally the day of the lockdown, and we were forced to go into what we initially thought was a 3-week lockdown, but then was extended. And obviously the uncertainty was eating at us all the time, not knowing where we were going to surface after all this had happened. We were a young brand, a brand that was just gaining momentum. We were just taking it into our stride, getting used to our rhythm and our routine. And then all of a sudden we were forced to completely shut down. Being an outside store in the center of the shopping center, we literally had to package our entire seating area into a vacant shop that was available. And then the first, to be honest, the first 2 days were a welcome rest, because we had really, it's a 24/7, 7 days a week, 365. I mean, it never, just steady never shuts down. So the first few days were a welcome relief, but the panic starts to set in after you've rested for a few days. But we took that time to regain and to, with the day-to-day running of the business, you literally don't have time to forecast. You don't have time to sit down and actually say, we need to do this and we need to improve on this. And COVID gave us that opportunity during the initial 6 weeks lockdown until level 4, to sit back and say, we're doing this wrong. We need to correct this. We're doing this right. We need to emphasize on that point. So when it was announced that we could go back to level 4, we were a little bit more ready. We were ready to face the challenge. And I think we were more hungry to get the brand back to where it was. We opened straight up after level 4, not knowing what the consequences were. And I think being small and compact and family run, it was easier for us to open the operation again. We also developed the online portal during COVID, because we weren't sure if we were what we would be able to offer after level 4. So we put up an online portal. We formulated the high tea in a box, because that was our strength at the time. Giving people a little bit of a relief, a little bit of a change. People were in lockdown, they couldn't buy their kids toys, nothing was available. So we found that birthday cakes, when we opened up, we were doing 10 or 15 cakes a day, because it was the only form of normality that a parent could give their kid, or a family could have, by having this cake delivered to them on a birthday. Funny enough, we could deliver the cakes, but we couldn't buy candles for the cakes, because you weren't allowed.
There was an underground candle movement during level 4 lockdown. It was like we were selling something illegal, but it was just candles.
But after we opened up, we reaped on the benefits of what, and we grasped where we could. And so where our strengths were, we positioned ourselves and we strategized to enhance those strengths. So the online became strong. The counter became even stronger, because we didn't have the distraction of the restaurant. We didn't have the distraction of the customer seated. So we took that time to develop and to elevate our patisserie offering and to elevate our food offering on a delivery portal. So we actually gained momentum, because a lot of restaurants were closed, a lot of our competition were closed. So we gained a lot of new customers, and we gained a lot of strength by opening up so quickly and immediately after the lockdown was announced. We took on more shop space. We corrected our mistakes. We strategized, and we also strategized. We also allowed we also worked very carefully and very cleverly in terms of stock. So we had zero wastage. We tried to have as little wastage as possible. Tried to if somebody ordered a cake, make sure that it was the best cake that they were going to receive. And it was hard work. We just realized that it was after when it was on level 4, everybody was still scared. We were still scared of COVID. We were now in the front line. We had to wear masks most of the day. Customers we were only allowed a few customers coming to the shop at a time. So we also had that fear of being infected. We also had that fear of our family becoming sick or our staff becoming sick, but we just persevered, and with God's grace, we just managed to overcome it. And I think from the hard work and dedication, we just grew stronger after that COVID period. Alcohol also played a big part of it. So we're not really alcohol. We do serve alcohol, but we don't. It's not a main offering. So people weren't allowed to buy alcohol, so they were relying on sweet, funny enough. So people were buying cakes and pastries. I think it was just a little bit of normality for them, a little bit of a change after that time. A little bit that people, it made them feel a little bit normal again, normal. There were little celebrations, so everything that we did was downsized. Our cake sizes became little 10-centimeter cakes, but a lot of 10-centimeter cakes going to different families, and people couldn't communicate with families on birthdays, so they were allowing us to deliver a birthday cake with a bunch of flowers or a birthday cake with a box of pastries. And from that, we gained a huge customer base, and we also gained strength in ourselves because it pushed us to another limit. And so word of mouth. So have you had a delivery from Just Teddy? I've had amazing high tea from Just Teddy. Try Just. So it's COVID in a way, yes. The worst part of the COVID was the uncertainty of what would happen after it. But once we opened, we haven't looked back. I mean, there is times when it spikes and customers start to be a little bit cautious and restaurant sales go down. But our counter and our cake production seem to go up and our online seem to go up. So for us, COVID has taken us to another level. It's given us an opportunity to showcase what we do.
If you stay calm enough in a time of chaos, you will find, an opportunity to break away. And with that said, you could say we found our brand during, the COVID pandemic. I know it was a time of, immense sadness, terror, uncertainty, but as I said, with chaos is opportunity. And we just, we took our past understanding of our brand from that, that original opening year, and we just streamlined it during that second life, so to speak, when we reopened. And like my father said, we haven't looked back, and the book is, dividends of that, that confidence in a time of fear.